Welcome back to R Squared Productions, R Squared Studios, me Paul Dalton.
And me Tom Quayle.
This episode kind of comes about...
because I went to Tesco.
Yeah, and it ties into something that we wanted to do back when we were still doing the actual audio podcast, for iPod UCast. And we'll come to that when we come to it. But how this came about, because you mentioned something to me, you went into Tesco's.
Yes.
Talk to people through it.
I went into Tesco's. I'm walking into Tesco at work last night, got to go and get me dinner. But, as I say, no Chelsea buns in Tesco, but that's another story. But walk up the toy aisle because they got the toys on discount offer, and I realised how many different types of Lego is there?
Yeah. They have a lot of variety, and see, when we were kids, we had Lego bricks.
Yeah. And they were red, they were blue, they were green, they were yellow.
Yeah, that was it. We had Lego bricks. We didn't have Lego sets, whether you could, but you know, it was more Lego bricks with a couple of extra things, so you could like make a house with a sloped roof. But now you have things where you can only build the thing on the box, like the Death Star, for example. Yeah. You know, things like that. And yeah, they're massively complicated and ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
It's little pieces of plastic. They should not be that expensive.
I mean, for a start, there was Lego Big Box, Lego Small Box. Now there's Lego Big Box, Lego Small Box, Lego City, Lego Master Chef.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, this is including the Legos. I mean, there's other brands like there's Mega Blocks. And, you heard of Mega Blocks? Yeah. It's kind of, I don't want to say the knockoff version, but it's a competitor to Legos. You know, so like Pepsi's not a knockoff of Coca-Cola. It's just another version of it. And they've got like the Halo license, you know, Halo the video game. And you get like Halo Mega Blocks, and you build like the Warthog Jeep. You know, I got for a birthday present. It was cool. You know, really cool.
So then, of course, Lego's like, right, they've got the Halo license. We're going to invent Bionicle.
Yeah, it's breeding into Bionicle because until Bionicle came out, Lego were on the verge of basically going bankrupt. They were doing horrible. They were barely turning a profit. Then Bionicle came out, and people went nuts for Bionicle.
Yeah.
And it saved the company. And from then they went up and up and up and up and up, and they were going to get licenses for like DC and Marvel and Star Wars and Indiana Jones.
And now they're making movies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it came about because they had like they had the video games. You had starting with you had Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones, Lego Star Wars games, and Lego Marvel. All the separate video games, and the Batman went off more in the DC universe. You got like Superman and Green Lantern and whatever else with the rest of the Justice League. And now, like I say, they made a movie, and it's a movie in which Batman and Iron Man, DC and Marvel Comics, two of the biggest heroes, are in the same movie, and it's not a comic book movie. It's a Lego movie because Lego owns the license for both of them. It's weird. I mean, there was a comic years ago, JLA Avengers, and it was a crossover between DC and Marvel. It was the Justice League versus the Avengers, and it was basically the premise was like some intergalactic bet between two cosmic beings, one from DC, one from Marvel, and the universes overlapped each other. So who would win? And Earth in DC is slightly bigger than Marvel, because they've got cities that we don't have, like they've got Gotham City and Metropolis and things, so that's why, because it's slightly bigger because they've got cities that we don't have. So, you know, Avengers, you know, Iron Man lives in New York. Yeah. No, sorry, the Spider-Man lives in New York, Iron Man's in like Los Angeles. and that was cool as a comic, and now we've got a movie that has these two big characters, and it's not a superhero movie, which is kind of gutting. Yeah,
the one upside to the games and the film and everything like that, they don't hurt as much when you stand on them.
Yeah, feet are the perfect thing for finding Lego pieces in the dark.
Yeah.
that's all they're invented for. I'm sure that's all we have feet for, is to find Lego in the dark.
Yeah. And it's just the fact of it's just like, look, it's just like, it's a truck about that long and it's 30 quid. What the fuck?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you could buy 4.5 tons of Lego for that.
And like I said, I mentioned the Lego Death Star, and they've got the Lego Simpsons now, as well. And you know, get the Simpsons house, right? 200 quid, and all you can build is the Simpsons house.
Yeah.
And the car, but you know, it's still just the Simpsons house. You can try and build other things out of it, but you'll have a lot of pieces left over.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got like, the Lego Quickie Mart and things like that. It's like, where happened to imagination?
Yeah.
Me and my brother had Legos, or a knockoff thereof, and we'd build. You know, we had things like wheels or whatever, so you could try and make a car. and we build houses and things like that. But it was just a bucket of Lego.
Yeah.
Whatever your imagination can do, build it.
Yeah. This is why kids are getting dumb these days.
Yeah. I mean, Minecraft, the video game Minecraft. I mean, your brother plays Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's great for that because like there's not much to the game. It's basically build whatever you want. And if you've got a great imagination, you can build a fucking lot of things.
Yeah.
Especially when they brought in creative mode as well, which we had fun playing. We started building the hotel with pimps.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't have to dig.
There's about 3 days of my life. I won't get it back.
Yeah, it was like you don't have to mine for gold and smelt it and anything. It's like, okay, I need gold here. Here's some emerald. Here's dirt. Here's ice.
Here's a cabbage.
Yeah. You know, and things like that. And now because of the success of the Lego movie, there's talk of it being a Minecraft movie, and people in the industry, in video games industry, I should say, saying like, how can you have a Minecraft movie? There's no story to Minecraft. And then like, is there a story to Lego? You make one. It's like, yeah, but there's a protagonist in Minecraft. It's like, okay, well, Steve wakes up in the Minecraft world and sets about trying to survive, because basically the game that he's caught is a survival game.
Yeah.
Because you go through the day and avoid, you know, wolves and spiders or whatever. Build a shelter, and here comes the night, and you've got skeletons and zombies and creepers and endermen.
Yeah.
You know, and you could basically have a cartoony zombie movie.
Yeah.
Sounds fun?
Yeah.
You take your brother to see that?
Yep.
There you go.
There you go. It's our idea. You can't do it now. Fuck you.
So you know and then there was, I think they actually made it. It was like Lego Minecraft. You know, because all these different licenses. Like Minecraft is just the video game version of Lego. It's blocks making other things.
Yeah. Only it doesn't hurt when you stand on Minecraft.
Yeah. So to have Lego Minecraft, I mean, okay, killed, you can have like a Lego Creeper and you have like Lego Steve or whatever else, but it's still just paint some Lego figures and you've got a Minecraft. Okay, yeah, and people will pay 40 quid to have to have the Tower of Pimps. Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, this is supposed to be about like how toys have changed since we were kids.
Yeah, because I mean, I mentioned iPod Ucast, the old podcast, because we always wanted to do an episode about toys from our childhood, and we tried it a couple of times and the recording failed. And since we haven't got to worry about it now, and now especially now we're in HD, and we just talk about it, because I mean, like I said, we had Legos as kids. Legos been around for ages and they'll be around forever. But we're pretty much the same age, a couple of years different. So we get sort of the same toys, but some things that I'll have had that you didn't, because it's a phase that'll have passed. And there'll be things that I didn't have because I was too old for it, but you had.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, because that's the thing. The thing with toys now is it's either all gone digital stuff, games consoles, or it's the big classic conglomerates like Lego and things like that. But there's fucking loads of it.
Yeah, and it's all tie-ins to movies or TV shows or whatever. But a lot of those shows and movies started off something like Transformers.
Yeah.
Right? You can buy Transformers toys based off the movie. But the movie's based off the old toys, which is based off the old cartoon. Well, the cartoon was based off the old toys, cartoon, more toys. Years later, Michael Bay made the movie, now you've got the new toys, so Optimus Prime looks like he does in the movies as opposed to what he did back in the 80s.
Yeah. And that's the other thing about that, big example of it just sort of like going huge. Whereas before, when we were kids, you could collect 6 Power Rangers.
Yes.
Now you can collect about 574.
576 at last count, sorry.
Alright, they made 2 more.
Yeah, the green one came back.
Green one and purple polka dot.
No, he's limited edition, he's not out yet though. But yeah, Power Rangers was the thing, because the first Power Ranger that we had in our house was the blue Power Ranger, because Mark got it because he was in hospital, and it was kind of, make him feel better. He's a Power Ranger. I think blue was his favourite Ranger, and it wasn't so much the character, it was the colour. His favourite colour was blue, mine was red, and like for Christmas I got the Red Ranger, Mark got the Black Ranger, and Adele got the Pink Ranger. So we were short of a Yellow Ranger and a Green Ranger, and eventually Adele got the Yellow Ranger, and me and Mark got the Green Ranger to share, because Green Ranger came with his Zord.
Yeah.
So we had a Dragon Zord and Green Power Ranger. So awesome, we got the lot. And at some point along the line, I got the Megazord. Or maybe that was another shared toy, I don't know. I'll lose track, it's been 15, 20 years. Yeah, 20 years.
I've got you drunk since then.
Yeah, exactly. If I say 15 years, my God, that was the year 2000.
Yeah.
But no,
God.
Yeah,
now we do feel old.
Yeah, exactly. 15 years ago was the millennium. So yeah, but it's been about 20 years. And then yes, we've got pretty much every figure that means something. You know, never mind the piddly ones, because remember you used to get those ones. They were smaller, and the heads changed. It's like you'd have they look like the Power Rangers, but they didn't have the helmet on.
Yeah.
Then you press the belt buckle, and the head flips around, and there's the helmet.
Yeah.
It's like we didn't bother with them because they looked cheap.
Yeah.
They were official Power Rangers, but they just looked cheap, and we had these big ones that were cool. And then Titanus came out. Remember Titanus from the show? He was the big fucking white and black thing. It's like, so Megazord would put Dragonzord on as a hat.
Yeah.
And step into Titanus, and it was fucking guns. It was like basically if Rita had 3 massive monsters and Megazord and Dragonzord were cutting it, bring in Titanus, and basically it's a nuclear bomb.
Yeah.
That's what the Power Rangers had. A nuclear bomb on wheels to point at the bad guys and blow them up. And that's what it was. It was like, oh, we haven't got Titanus. But we weren't overly fussed, because Titanus was a thing that only appeared in a handful of episodes.
Yeah.
And we knew something must have been coming, because we discovered something with the toys. The way they folded and changed and everything else. We realised we could put Dragonzord on top of Megazord. On his head, you know, because you remember he had those little horns.
Yeah.
Fold them back, and you can open Dragonzord up and put him over the top, like the hat, like basically. And then like a couple of weeks later, the episode came out with Titanus, and there's Dragonzord as a hat on Megazord, and it's just like, oh, so there'll be a Titanus toy that we can put this monstrosity into. And then yeah, sure enough, it came out, and we didn't end up getting it. And we had like our own morph. We both had morphs and blasters as well, so with the gun/sword. And morphers, and you could change the coin. So mine was always Tyrannosaurus, and Mark's was always Mastodon. Because by that time he started liking Zack as a character, as opposed to just having the blue colour, like the character of Zack. And I don't know if you could actually. I think you can actually.
Yeah, Zack was what, the Power Ranger equivalent of Mr. T.
Yeah, basically. And he fought in like a capoeira type style. It was a kind of breakdancing fight. And I'm sure you can get it now, because you can get the Dragon Dagger, you know, how Green Ranger used to call for the Dragonzord. You can get that, so I imagine...
No, that was the white one.
Yeah, there's White Rangers talking sword, yeah, Saba the talking
God, we're far too knowledgeable about the Power Rangers.
Oh God, you need to watch Linkara. He's one of the Nostalgia Critics buddies. And he talks about comic books and Power Rangers. You'll love him.
Where's my rifle?
Oh, and he talks like Jack Swagger as well, it's great.
Fuck death.
Yeah. And so I imagine you probably get the Green Ranger, because Green Ranger had a different morpher as well. His was gold, and everyone else's was silver, and he had his own dragon coin and everything else. I wish I had that, never did. Because Green Ranger was my favourite. Once Green Ranger came in, I loved him. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago I was watching an old episode back, and I realised, you're the reason, watching Tommy, you're the reason I wanted long hair. Because one of the things that left my head, and years later I had long hair, and I just put it down and watching wrestling, you know, Kane, Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, all these guys had long hair. And then I saw the Power Rangers, like,
that bastard in the Lycra suit!
yeah, and to be honest, I think he might have been my first guy crush. But I'm not sure, because I didn't know about it at the time. I liked Kim a lot.
I just want to see when he gets pulled up on YouTube, considering he's still doing Power Rangers episodes.
Yeah, he's done, but I can't remember, I showed you this thing from IGN about Jason David Frank, Green Power Ranger, wanting to fight CM Punk. Because when he was still under contract, CM Punk was still under contract with WWE, and Jason David Frank does mixed martial arts. Right? When he's not doing Power Rangers, he's actually a mixed martial artist. And CM Punk obviously having a bit of MMA in his wrestling repertoire. I was like, would you fight Jason David Frank? You know, so, yeah, sure, I'll fight him, why not, it'd be fun. And Jason David Frank's like, yeah, if he wants to go, why not? And then CM Punk, Phil Brooks signed with UFC, and Jason David Frank just went, you know, the offer's still on the table, you know, I've got no beef with him, but you know, he said he wanted to fight, why not?
Punk versus the Power Ranger!
And I said this to my mum, this is a genuine true story. We could have professional wrestler CM Punk versus the Green Power Ranger in an octagon.
Yeah. That's money!
No, I mean, yeah. I'd never watched a UFC pay-per-view, and not even when Brock Lesnar debuted or anything like that. I would watch the shit out of CM Punk versus the Green Power Ranger. Over and over again.
Especially if they're forced to do it in gimmick.
Oh yeah, if he comes out with Best in the World t-shirt and the Cult of Personality playing, and how goes Jason David Frank with a fucking shield and helmet and fucking dagger. It'd be awesome. Oh yeah, so we as kids, me and Mark weren't wrestling fans. At least not. We were in the Attitude Era. About 1999 we got into wrestling.
There's another thing, like all the WWE toys now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And things that you wouldn't think to. I think you get WWE Legos, but it's not Legos, it's another one of those knockoff like Mega Bloks, another one of the other brands.
Oh, that'd be a rough ring to bump in.
Oh! Although, imagine how easy the tables will break.
Yeah.
But you can get like entrances for whatever. You got like a Miz entrance thing because you got a big awesome gimmick.
Yeah.
But there's an Undertaker one, and it's like kind of gothy like entrance way. It looks nothing like he does on TV, and there's torches or whatever. And there's a motorbike. It's like, but he's still dead, man. we know, we've seen the American Badass, we've seen that version of the Undertaker, but this is still Dead Man Undertaker, bald, you know, but with a motorbike just to try and make him cool at the kids. Like, you realise there was an Undertaker who rode a motorbike. Put that toy out again.
Yeah.
You know. But my brother at one point got a wrestling ring, a classic WWF red, white and blue rose block logo. And it came with a belt. And there was like 8 sound effects on it. There was little buttons like a referee counting to 3 and a ringing bell and a couple of other things. I think it might have been like grunts and groans and things slamming the mat, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a couple of figures. And we knew Hulk Hogan. And that was it.
Yeah.
We knew Hulk Hogan. We had a couple of figures. And going back now, yeah, okay, we had Sergeant Slaughter. We had one of the Legion of Doom, probably Hawk, and a couple and Ultimate Dragon. And Ultimate Dragon, sorry, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Ultimate Warrior. And we just made them one cruiserweight, which is weird. But we didn't know who they were at the time, we just knew Hulk Hogan. Because we weren't wrestling. It was one of those things that our Nana bought us. Because like, well, this is the thing that's popular, maybe Mark will like this for his birthday. And you're one of those relatives who gets the thing that you're not into, but it's a close thing. So we were into Power Rangers, and Nana got us the VR Troopers.
Yeah.
And we watched VR Troopers, but it wasn't our thing. It wasn't our favourite thing. Power Rangers was the thing.
It's like the Top Gear, 5th Gear thing all over again.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, you know,
cheap, pissy channel knockoff.
Yeah, exactly. So we had this thing, and it wasn't until years later when we got into wrestling we realised what a good thing we had, because it turns out those rings were hard to come by. You could get rings no problem, but the ones that had the sound effect were pretty hard to come by apparently. And like some of the figures that we had, so there was 3 versions of Hulk Hogan. There's like one where he did a gorilla press, one where he did like a spinning clothesline, and one where he looked like he was in a headlock and he did this. Basically, it wasn't like he was punching him in the head. And apparently, the spinning clothesline was a rare one. He did like 3 different outfits. One he had no shirt, one was in his Hulk Rules vest, and one was in like the American-made vest with the flag on it. And that was one with the spinning clothesline. And that was a rare item when we had it, and we didn't know because you know we were kids. It was our Hulk Hogan figure. That's all we knew. We weren't wrestling fans, and we grew up later on, and we got a ring and figures and things like that. I got the Titantron entranceway, and loads of the figures had these little steel things, these little metal things in the feet, and you put them on these strips on the entranceway, and you place their music. Well, it was like there was 10 musics on there, and if you had those wrestlers, it played that music. But as they went on, they brought like a SmackDown arena set and new figures to go with that. So if you had one of those figures for the SmackDown set and put it on the Raw thing, you wouldn't get the right music. So it'd just be weird watching the Big Show come out to the DX theme music. Yeah. You know, you just play a random one and things like that. I remember I got a set of 10 figures. Sorry, I'm hogging all the thing.
You've got your toy now.
Yeah, I'll show up in a minute. But I got a set of 10 figures. There was some that I already had, but I didn't mind having the swaps of them because it was different costumes. You know, and I was like Edge was in there, and there was another version of the Big Show and another version of the Undertaker, and Stone Cold was actually in wrestling gear as opposed to the street gear that I had, and it came with the European title belt. And basically, I wanted it for the European title. Because you couldn't buy it on its own, and Tyree, he had like the Smoking Skull belt and the WWF belt and the Intercontinental title belt and the WCW belt, and I bought a WWF title belt as well. I think I might have bought one of his, but then I had the European title, and that was such a good looking belt, and you couldn't get it. So I was like, look what I've got. I was like, where the hell did you get that? And it It was cool.
Yeah.
I felt like such hot shit because I had this belt that was basically fuck all on TV.
Yeah.
What's the European title matches in like 1999, 2000? It was D'Lo Brown versus fucking Al Snow. You know, wow, I mean, great wrestlers in their own right, but no one gives a shit about D'Lo Brown versus Al Snow on Raw.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's it. That's it. It was all. And there's the other big conglomerate, Matchbox cars.
Yeah, we never really got into match. We had a couple of them, and Hot Wheels. It was one of those. We'd get them if they were like the toy that came with the Happy Meal. I think we had a couple of Hot Wheels toys Matchbox, because they came with a Happy Meal. It's not something we ever really got into.
Yeah. So you've got sort of like two different ways kids go. I think this is where we split. You went into sort of like the Power Ranger figures and all that kind of stuff. I went Matchbox cars and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Strange thing though, you took the more the acting route and everything like that. These are interesting different toys, and this is about to get quite clever this episode now, I think.
Oh dear.
Well, I think I will make a clever point. You went with the Power Rangers figures and everything like that. Went to college, did sort of like drama and all that kind of stuff. I went into the cars and all that sort of toys. I work in a big engineering company.
Yeah, I mean,
is there a trait between what toys you played with as a kid and what you do? What you end up doing or wanting to do?
Maybe, I mean, it's like, did you play with the cars because you liked the cars and it led you down that road? Or, you know, were you already into that kind of thing and the cars were your closest thing to get to it? It's one of those, you know, chicken and egg type things.
Yeah, I mean, it's like with the Lego. It's a simple case of what did you build with your Legos, random houses and everything like that. I built fucking tower cranes!
Yeah.
Working tower cranes with a top span round and everything!
I bet, did you have a Meccano?
Yeah.
We didn't. We didn't have Meccano. And it's not because not something we were into. But obviously you were, and you built stuff in Meccano, and now you're in the engineering gimmick.
Yeah. You know what's the best thing about building a tower crane out of Lego? You can build a big heavy block on the back of it, you can build a long boom on it, and you just put it just inside the door and wait for your brother to come in. He's only and you build it about his height so he comes through the door and you swing round, smack him in the face with it.
Oh, you harsh bastard. Sorry, I've met your brother, you probably deserved it.
Yeah.
You've probably done something at some point.
Just to see you just go, hee hee hee, whoa, boom!
It's like something out of Home Alone.
Yeah.
Because I'm a couple of years older than you. I just got the tail end of like the Transformers and He-Man and Thundercats thing. That was like the mid to late 80s. And I just caught the tail end of that. Like me and my brother had a couple of Transformers and a couple of He-Man and Thundercats figures. I suppose you didn't really
get into that sort of stuff and everything like that.
But like I said, I think it might have been, you were a couple of years too late for us. I barely caught it.
Yeah.
You know, I was born in 85.
It was sort of like a hiccup.
Yeah, so I was born in 85. 87 was where that was massive.
Yeah, I was 88.
So by the time it got to like 1989, 1990, when I was old enough to play with those sorts of toys, they pretty much died out. You still get Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
They were still around, and we had a couple of Turtles. I think we definitely had a Raphael and a Leonardo because they were mine and Mark's favourite figures. And we had a Bebop. That was the Warhog, wasn't it, in Ninja Turtles? Bebop. Oh, you don't know. I'm sure it would be. Yeah, Bebop was mine, and that was it. I had the Turtle Blimp. You didn't watch the Turtles, so this won't mean anything to you. But this was a sought after commodity. This was. In the Turtles, they had the turtle van, right?
Yeah.
And it was like big Volkswagen camper van basically, and had stuff in it. Donatello would suit it all up. But on rare occasions, they had this blimp, and it was inflatable. It had plastic on it, and you could pull a trigger and drop bombs. All little plastic things to basically take out the Foot Clan Shredder's henchmen. But the balloon on it, the actual blimp, it was like that big. It was fucking huge, and I don't think it was overly expensive. But the amount of times I've listened to a podcast or watched something on YouTube and they've referenced that and it's like, oh, I wanted the blimp, and I think I had the blimp. Was this another case like with the wrestling ring where it was hard to come by and I just didn't know and we just happened to get it? And I thought, because I had that blimp and it sat in my room because I wanted to have it hanging from the ceiling. But my dad was going to do it, and then it was one of those, he never got around to it. And then outgrew Turtles, you know, the show stopped being on TV. We got in the Power Rangers, Turtles kind of went away, so we sold the blimp. You know, so it never happened. But I think that would be cool. Wake up in the morning and there's a fucking blimp.
Yeah, and so you accidentally lean on the tree and just, fuck you bastard!
Yeah. Oh yeah, Ghostbusters. That was another thing as well. The real Ghostbusters cartoon. Because I had the station, the firehouse, and I'm sure XO1 was mine, but it could have been Mark's. No, Mark had XO2, which was the helicopter, which I think was in one episode of the show. But they made a toy out of it, because why not? And there was another car that was never in a show called like XO500, and it was like a racing car.
Yeah.
No, I mean like a vintage 50s racing car, you know,
Yeah.
one of those sort of things. But talk about creative play, the firehouse, it was like three stories, and had a pole and everything. And all those figures, you know, playing action figures, they're all the same size, basically the same scale. It doubled up as a bat cave, because Mark had a Batmobile.
Yeah.
And so we don't want to play Ghostbusters, we'll play Batman. So we had a Batman figure and there was a Robin, and the pole had a little platform on it, and you know they've got the little holes in the heels, like air holes or whatever. And you put the little pegs on it, so you put the feet on there, so you look like they're hanging onto the pole, and you pull a switch and you release the platform, and they start spinning down to the floor. So you've got Batman and Robin spinning down this pole, down to the Batmobile, and after they go on.
Yeah, put it this way, if that was the real word, toys would always be dizzy as fuck. Because stuff always spun round on toys.
Yeah, he's like fucking head spinning like a weed.
That's what we used to do as kids and everything like that. You get a massive long because my dad's a brickie and everything like that. So there's scaffolding poles laying around the backyard. My dad's put an extension in and the steps going up, so we set up a scaffolding pole going from the top of the steps into the back street. Me and Joe, my mate lived up the road, and we're pretty much, what's fastest? you know you can set the Megatron up as a vehicle. Yeah, so you sort of like, what's fastest? Optimus Prime or Ecto-1? And set them off down. That's what we did every week!
We did things like that
Shit
as well.
like that!
Because the Batmobile and Ecto-1 were about the same size. You know, they had to be the figures in or whatever. I mean, I think the Batmobile was a little bit longer. But we had a race, we went to the park over the road from our house, and it had a big slope on it. And had slides as well, so if it didn't work on the concrete, we went to the slides. And we'd see who would win, the Batmobile or Ecto-1. Of course, it was a real thing, the Batmobile's going to win. But it's toys. 3, 2, well, you cheated. We never got a legitimate answer. Yeah. You went too early, or you know, you started ahead. You know, just playing with shit like that, and then more Batman toys. Because Batman came out in '89 and Batman Returns came out in '92.
Yeah.
So if Batman Returns came out, Batman was everywhere. I remember going into a toy shop. I think we might have been with my cousins actually. And getting figures, and Batman Returns had just come out, so I got a Penguin, and my brother got a Catwoman, and he chose Catwoman. Even at the time I thought it was hard, I was picking Catwoman. But okay, I guess it's just someone else to play with, I guess, you know, and the other things like
playing with Catwoman.
But it was Michelle Pfeiffer in leather, so yeah. Fair play to you, Mark.
Yeah, the guy had a point!
Yeah, and I got I had a Batwing.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you know the Batwing. But there was other things as well, like, Mark had a Batcopter, and then I got a Batjet, and which were all completely different things. They all fly, but they're all different vehicles because money, you know.
This is the one thing that annoys me and everything like that. When you hear stuff like that, you just sit there and go, hang on a minute. Batman can't fly.
No, he's not like Superman, he can't fly.
Right? But he's a bat.
He just like, he can glide, he can glide with his cape and everything.
Yeah. What I don't understand is, where does he get all this military hardware from?
Because he's a billionaire. It's the if you want to go into the comics, it's the R&D department of Wayne Enterprises, research and development, and they develop all this stuff. Some of it's ex-military contract that didn't pan out, and.
But why give it such a stupid name as Batcopter?
Well, if you call it by its actual name, you're gonna know that Bruce Wayne made it, so therefore you're gonna know there's at least some connection between Bruce Wayne and Batman.
No, just stick with the numbers and everything like that. That way they don't know it's Batman coming.
That way what?
So like the Americans have the F-15. If he's got the F-1324, they're not gonna know it's Batman coming, are they? Just another aeroplane.
Yeah, but he's got his logo all over it. He wants to strike fear at the enemies. He's gonna have his logo everywhere.
It's just sort of like, you're in an aeroplane. How are you gonna beat me up there, you prick?
He's got wonderful toys in those things. There's a brilliant thing about in the first Batman movie, and Batman's flying the Batwing, and Joker's standing there in the middle of the street. Come on, you son of a bitch! Come on! And Batman pulls out the guns and the missiles and he's not trying to hit the Joker because he doesn't want to kill him. He's Batman. He doesn't kill people. and he's shooting all around him, and the Joker engages it. Come on, come on, come on! Boom, boom, boom! Explosion behind him. Come on, come on, come on! And eventually, Joker just reaches into his pants, pulls out a gun the size of a fucking hockey stick, and like got a barrel like that.
Yeah.
Hold it, boom! Blows out the underneath of the Batwing as he's coming in on a dive and crashes the Batwing. And they kind of made a nod to it in the Dark Knight because Heath Ledger's standing there with his machine gun, fucking come on, I want you to hit me, I want you to hit me, and he's driving at him with the motorbike and swerves at the last second to avoid it. But yeah, he's got all these things. He wants people to know, yeah, Batman's coming, you're fucked. But
that's the thing. Batman's coming. He ain't gonna fucking kill me.
They didn't.
Why has no bad guy ever done that?
Joker did. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Joker realises you're not going to kill me, and if you do, I win. It's like we were on about for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt's like the Joker. It's like I don't care if I die, because if I do, I win.
Yeah.
I've proved my point. It's like there's a comic book called The Killing Joke. We'll get back to toys in a second. And basically,
Will we?
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
We spent about half of this off the subject.
In The Killing Joke, basically Joker's whole premise is anyone can be as nuts as him. It just takes one bad day.
Yeah.
And he goes about trying to prove it. He tries to corrupt Commissioner Gordon, and he basically he shoots Barbara Gordon, his dog Batgirl, shoots her, cripples her, she ends up in a wheelchair, and the whole thing is basically trying to just prove a point. And that's Joker's raison d'etre. That's his whole thing. He's just trying to prove a point. Madness, and Heath Ledger had a brilliant line in The Dark Knight. Is that madness is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Yeah.
And that's what the Joker's all about. Sorry, we'll get back to toys now. Because, as I say, we were talking about toys before. We were just talking about all these Batman toys that I had.
Because I think that's the thing. Toys. It is basically toys is a big advertising campaign.
Yeah, it really
listening, BBC.
We'll get to that one. But we've already done that.
We've been there.
Done that. Bought the t-shirt.
But we will.
Bear. Fuck a bear.
We need a bear. We need a bear and some sticks.
Yeah. Because like I was saying, because like boys' toys and girls' toys as well. I mean, you do get a lot that are gender neutral. Like Power Rangers, girls watch Power Rangers as well, and there was girl Power Rangers. So you know, like me and Mark didn't want the pink and yellow Rangers because they were girls. But Adele would have the pink and yellow Rangers. That's fine. That's great. That's fine and groovy. Then we'd have the whole set. And you know, it was like the equivalent of boys had Transformers, girls had My Little Pony. Boys had He-Man, girls had She-Ra. You know that kind of thing was that working equivalent.
Yeah, and then there was you who had everything.
Only now. You know, I don't have Transformers. I've got Rainbow Dash. You know, it's whatever. I'll tell you something off air as well. Actually,
there was
a lot of things.
There's one thing I got into: the Robot Wars toys.
That comes a little bit later. But before we get into that, I would say a lot of the boys and girls things. It was the same toy, just palette swapped.
Yeah.
It's like Polly Pocket for girls, right? Boys had Mighty Max. Instead of being shaped like a heart like Polly Pocket, it was shaped like a skull.
Yeah.
Instead of being pink, it was black and green with grey. Instead of a little blonde girl that walks around in her little world, it's Mighty Max, this little blonde kid who walks around this dungeon fighting monsters. Instead of having a little pet dog, there's a little dragon.
Yeah.
You know.
Or Micro Machines and My Little Pony is another one.
Okay.
Right? Nice little pinky gooey world and everything with little ponies in it like that. Or big truck that turns into a city and it's got little toy cars in it that you can like do police chases.
But I think the Transformers is a closer thing because it was basically a cartoon to market the toys. Like these Transformers toys and My Little Pony toys existed, and then they made the cartoons to advertise them.
Yeah.
Same with He-Man and Thundercats.
Yeah.
Well, the toys were there first, and like the FCC at the time in America, they weren't going to allow the cartoons because it's basically a commercial. You can't have like a 30-minute commercial for a toy, but then the rules changed and we've got like these great cartoons out of it. And I say great cartoons. you watch the old Transformers and Thundercats now, it's like, wow, this show's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But at the time it was great because, you know, it was like you had the toys. It's like Scott Prentice, when he was Nine Pound Nerds, mentioned, you know, he only had like little Star Wars figures. And then these big ones came out from like Transformers and He-Man. And he watched the cartoon to know how to play with them, which doesn't make sense when you hear that, but it's like, if you don't watch the show, you don't know who's the bad guy and who's the good guy and like who's friends and how they interact with each other, like personal dynamics. So you watch the show and it's like, okay, this guy's in charge, this is second in command, this guy's the opposite, well, I mean, this guy's a skeleton, he's clearly the bad guy. But you know, you're playing as a kid. Sorry, spitting on you. And you try and do the voices yourself. You know, if you've got a skeleton and it's like, oh, I'll get you lined up. Then you watch a cartoon, it's like, it's this fucking thing.
You whiny bastard!
Mumra, the ever living, and you know, and Skeletor for He-Man and things like that. Yeah, Robot Wars. I watched the show Robot Wars. I never got any of the toys.
Yeah, so that's like I started with the Matchbox cars, and then it was right. What wins in a fight?
Matilda.
What would is it? You know, I had a remote control
Shunt. There you go.
like with a big pickaxe on the top. It's like right. What wins in a fight? Shunt or next door's wheelie bin?
My brother's foot.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes.
Chasing pigeons down the back street with Shunt. Ah!
Advancing
Best
like
toy
Batman.
yeah. Best toy ever. That was my favourite toy as a kid. Remote control Shunt.
Yeah.
It's a fucking remote control car with a pickaxe on the top.
That's great.
I wasn't a masochist.
Not at all. So we had a box. It was probably about that tall and about that wide. It was like a square box, like a cuboid, and it was just full of figures. And so we had our turtles were in there, and a couple of Batman and a couple of Jokers, and Bucky O'Hare. Do you remember the cartoon Captain Bucky O'Hare?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple of Bucky O'Hares. I had Bucky and Willie DeWitt, the human kid, and Mark had Deadeye, the four-armed duck, because he was fucking badass, and an eye patch, and Blinky the robot. And I think we might have had a vehicle. No, my mate had one of the. Oh, and I had Toadborg, because they were battling the Toads, and Toadborg was kind of like Darth Vader. You know, so I had a big Toadborg, and it was fucking weird. My dad loved that show. He thought it was great. And they had a kick-ass theme song as well. That's another one of those. I won't have heard it for years, but if I say Bucky O'Hare, you'll in your head, Bucky, Captain Bucky O'Hare, and you just hear the theme tune. Yeah.
It's just like every time. Then of course, going along similar, you had all the DuckTales toys and everything like that. Which is another one you do that with. Every time you hear DuckTales, you just go woo.
Fucking nostalgia critic hates that because every time it just gets stuck in his head. It's like one of those, it'll never leave your head. It's like, yeah, you think you kind of
remind me to do that more often.
You think you kind of remember, like, oh, I think I kind of. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Before you know, you get to DuckTales. Woo! It's like all the way through your life, you think you're doing your big maths exam, but all of a sudden, DuckTales. Woo! You think you're about to achieve spiritual enlightenment. DuckTales. Woo! And it'll never leave. Sorry if you're watching, DuckTales, woo!
Yeah, and then just in case for dollars, he's always on the scene.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas the Tank Engine, we had those toys as well.
Yeah,
but
that's all still going.
Oh yeah,
the thing is, yeah, we've had the rant about Thomas the Tank Engine toys.
Yeah, on the old versus new.
Yeah,
yeah, but we had them growing up, and I had a Toby, and I had a Percy, Mark had a James and a Thomas. James? Yeah, number 5, red.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could come up with any name possible now, it's probably been in Thomas Tank Engine by now.
No, I didn't have Toby, Henry. No, what was the tram?
It was Brown.
Yeah, what was he called? It was Toby, and his name was called Henrietta. Yeah,
it began with a T.
Yeah, it was Toby, yeah.
Yeah, there's that many of them now though. I mean, we mentioned before on the old versus new, where I had a go at Brit Entertainment.
Hit Entertainment,
yeah, just had a proper big go at them. Because they were charging these preserve railways and everything like that. There's about 5,000 characters in Thomas the Tank Engine now.
Yeah, I mean, but it's all marketing thing.
Well, that's the thing though, you go back and watch it when we were kids and everything like that. So one thing that dawned on me a bit, like it's just popped into my head now, right? All them trains on the island of Sodor, right? They've got 2 buses. The bus service is shite.
It's like Barrow.
Yeah.
Well, everyone just travels by train. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
You
never get anywhere though, they're all too busy stood there talking.
Backing signals.
Yeah.
I can't believe when we did the old version new, I had an idea popped in my head before I even got to it. You said person needs backing signals. That's exactly what I fucking got.
Yeah.
We remember this shit.
That's it. I mean, we've done cartoons and everything before, but that was the thing with cartoons when we were kids. You remember them.
Yeah, it's like there was a brilliant episode. I mean, I watched Batman the Animated Series. Great cartoon, fucking awesome. And it looked like no other cartoon that was out. It was all gothic and Art Deco and dark and brooding. One of those things that kids could watch it, but it wasn't aimed at kids, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, anyone could watch it, but yeah. And there was the thing, it was like, when it was a few seasons in and Robin was in it, and there was some villainous, it was like a beauty, obsessed with beauty, and she wore a mask or whatever. And so, but near the end of the episode, the mask came off and broke, and she was crying because she thought she was all hideous and everything. Robin's like, I don't understand, like, she's beautiful. And Batman just turns to, she only sees the flaws. And I was like, things like that in cartoons, this is a kid's show, this is like 1992, 93, so I'm like 7 or 8. And that's the kind of thing that sticks with you when it's written so well. I'm 29 now.
Yeah.
Talking over 20 years since I've seen that cartoon, and I still remember.
And
that
then you look at what they do, and then it's just any old pish.
It's look, things, entertainment. Look at the shiny. It just keep the kids quiet for half an hour.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But there's no plot to cartoons anymore.
No.
It's shit, and that means there's no plot and there's no cool toys anymore. And that's why you get a video game generation, because there's no decent toys to play with.
Yeah, and the video games, they've got good stories.
Like what I did then.
Yes.
Right round and everything like that.
Right back to Minecraft and Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now people are having to use their own imagination, because Minecraft is like the second biggest selling video game of all time. Think about that.
Yeah.
Minecraft came out in what, 2008, 2009? It's about 5 years old, Minecraft.
Yeah.
Second biggest selling video game of all time. Do you know what's first?
Well,
Tetris.
yeah. And do you know what both of them are technically? Video Lego.
Yeah. Exactly. Tetris was an experiment in Russia, and it made this thing about it's all about organisation and order and blah blah blah, and you can get rid of the blocks. And Minecraft is, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
People have made working computers in Minecraft, like 16-bit computers or something, something ridiculous. It's like, how are you not working for NASA?
Yeah.
You've made a computer
You
in
have
a video
far
game.
too much time on your hands, sort of thing.
But it's awesome.
Since the guy who made tower cranes out of Lego, I didn't have Minecraft. I built tower cranes and knocked my brother out every week.
There you go. No, but it's like it's ridiculous the amount of stuff that goes into it. And let's raise the only limit is your imagination, and which is good and bad, because it's good because the kids who are creative minded and aren't getting the stimulation they need from like the cartoons now, because they say they're all piffle.
Yeah.
They're getting that outlet, and that's why Minecraft's such a big seller, because it's on every platform.
Yeah.
It's starting on the PC, and you get it on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, PS4. You get it on your tablets, your mobiles. You can probably get it on a microwave.
Yeah.
You know, it's everywhere, and there's toys related to it. So you know, I mean,
Well, like Minecraft on a microwave. Zombie!
you turn a zombie into a creeper. So I made Kieran laugh actually, because he likes a bit of Minecraft as well. I imitate the eating sound effect from Minecraft. Just when you're eating like a cookie or a cake or something. Fuck it, I'm going cake class. But just when you eat something, it's like, I told him I used to be able to do that. I don't ever sell cars. Oh my god, you sound like it. It was like, cool. I made my kid laugh. So that's because I play Minecraft. I started playing it because I saw it on Let's Play from Achievement Hunter, and it was fun to watch. But I thought if I play it, I'll have more appreciation for it.
Yeah.
And it's something that I play, can watch other people playing. My son plays it, your brother plays it. It's everywhere. But you can understand why. I mean, you're not a video game fan.
Yeah, that's why these sort of things work so well when we do these old versus news and sort of like where's things come from somewhere and anything like that.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to sort of like video games and toys and things like that, we were polar opposites.
Yeah, but you don't play video games, but you can appreciate why people are playing Minecraft.
Yeah. Whereas you've
dicked about in Minecraft. We tore down a village, we trapped some villagers, put them on display, and built a hotel of pimps.
Yeah. Edgar is the one in the Cowgate.
Yeah, Edgar is the one in the hole.
We found an Edgar.
Yeah, we found an Edgar, yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. Toys, yeah, without the decent cartoons there won't be any more decent toys. So I'm afraid Lego are going to keep making ridiculously expensive, stupid things. I'm just hoping they don't get all of the contract, the rights to something like this. How long before we see a Lego Queen Vic?
And the thing is, it'd sell.
Yeah, hang on, wait a minute. No, that's the BBC. They won't sell the rights to it. They won't find a way of making money. We're digging at the BBC again. We better stop. Plug the bear. Plug the bear.
Alright, thanks for joining us on this one then. leave some comments. What did you grow up playing with? I'm sure we've glossed over a shitload of toys that I'm sure we used to play with. So leave some comments. Let us know what you thought of what we played with. What did you play with? What should we play with? Recommend some video games. He's not a gamer. What would he like? If he appreciates Minecraft, what would he like? Terraria, things like that. Could imagination based. It's like another.
Put it this way, I don't even have a console.
Yeah.
Sum it up that way. I watch Netflix. I go out. I do shit.
There you go. And the WWE Network.
Yeah.
Alright, thanks for that. See you later.